going, YouTube? It is Wednesday, November the 6th, and we had ourselves a bit of a fireworks display yesterday with the election, and a whole bunch of folks got the result they were hoping for, and a whole bunch of folks did not. So now that the dust is settling, it's time for all of us to remember that we're all Americans. We need to be civil to one another. We need to remember that there are people across the spectrum of political and religious beliefs who are parts of our communities, whose children go to school with ours, who we rely upon for small business services like electrical, plumbing, carpentry, whatever, that we're all just people. And we're all in this together. We need to remember that. We need to get back to that, honestly, in a very real, very, very real way. But holy mackerel, folks, when did we become so stupid? I mean, I've been caught up in my own echo chambers for the last few years because there's so much of the mainstream everything. I'm checked out on it. So I'm not really completely up on all things to do with everything in society, and for the most part I don't care. I don't have time to care. I've got a business to run. I've got stuff to do. And plus I've got stuff I'd rather do than figure out what everyone's up in arms about. But good Lord above, all of the people who are seething and raging and crying about the election results not going their way, have you lost your minds? Have you forgotten how to think rationally as well as critically? It boggles the mind. I mean, video after video and tweet after tweet and post after post. People expecting to be led off to concentration camps, to be lined up against brick walls and shot, to be forced into breeding farms or whatever. Just a lot of sheer stupidity on a national as well as international level. It boggles the mind how foolish all of us, not one side or the other, all of us. There is not a single person in the United States, in my opinion, who is free from sharing some factor or some component or some iota of the blame for how stupid we as a people have devolved to over the last 20 years, over the last 30 years. Pick your year, pick your number, I don't care. Just the propaganda that people believe. It's like, did you leave your brain on standby mode in 2020? Did you just lobotomize yourself and forget how to be a rational person at some point in the last 5 years? Just good God above. I saw a clip of this black gal. I don't want to wake up and be a slave again. Literally weeping, afraid she's going to become a slave again, forgetting that there's a constitutional amendment that prohibits that. Just, what is wrong with us? All of us, everyone, left, right, middle, all of us, we're all screwed in the head. We have forgotten how to think critically. We keep buying into the hype from the hard right and the hard left, and all we have in the middle is fear. Let me illustrate. The hard left, my body, my choice. Hard right, click, clack, come and take it. Stupidity on both sides of those arguments. Both sides of the spectrum. There's no one who is free of blame. Not me, not you. No one. No one. I mean, I'm reading stories. I'm seeing memes because I had most of the morning to just kind of soak it all in and figure out where I stood on some things, because I had a early delivery and I drove late, so I was on a split break rule, so you know, a lot of downtime, waiting for hours to reset and whatnot, so I had time to just kind of go through stuff and look at memes, especially the memes. Memes are pretty good in some cases. Not gonna lie, there's some good memes flying around up there. Look at some satire, but then also look at the people who seriously believe that they are literally about to be physically, personally imperiled by the incoming administration. It's just, did you forget what happened in 2021? Clearly you did. What did Trump do? Executive order after order after order. How many of those just were blank check? Yep, yes sir, we'll take care of that for you. No, every one of his orders, rationally or irrationally, was challenged in the courts. Do you remember his executive order about stopping travel from certain, shall we say, countries that are majority the religion of peace? Remember that order? Remember how much lawfare there was about that order? That thing was tied up in the courts for like a year and a half. Did you forget? Clearly you did. But no, you bought into the propaganda of, I'm not gonna be able to get an abortion. I'm not gonna be able to cut off my genitals. I'm not gonna be able to mutilate my children. I'm not gonna be able to... Just a collection of stupidity. Good God above, most Republicans don't care if you want to mutilate yourself. If you're an adult and you want to slice off your nonsense and replace it with somebody else, knock yourself out. If you can pay for it, have a party. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. As long as you're an adult and you're doing it to yourself. But along the way, stay out of women's restroom until you have it sliced off. And then number two, stay out of women's sports leagues. That's for them, not for you. You're not a woman. You're just doing elaborate cosplay. Let's be rational here, folks. You want to put on a dress, call yourself a chick? Fine. Knock yourself out. Play by the rules. Don't make them up as you go along. Women's spaces are for women. Children's spaces do not need adults in them. Children don't need to be mutilated because they made a stupid mistake because they're kids. They don't know any better. At the same time, righties, let's be real here. They weren't going to come and take it with anything like legality. They were going to try to. Oh, yes, they were going to try to. But every court worth its own salt was going to stop them. There wouldn't have been a civil war like everyone was afraid of. We came close, not gonna lie. We did come close a couple of times. But did it happen? No. Because everyone took a breath and calmed themselves down. We keep complaining about Russia and China and Iran and a bunch of other nations doing stupid stuff. The United States of America collectively needs a slap across the face. Every last one of us. And be forced to sit down and see some reason and rationality and think. Everyone, not just right, everybody. We got too much work to do to let these stupid propagandists keep getting away with this. If anyone should be at risk of personal harm, if anyone should be at risk of their liberties being violated, if anyone should be at risk of being unlawfully jailed or in some other way deprived of their rights, it's the people who have been pushing the lies and the misinformation and the fear on both sides of the argument. All those people should be rounded up and sent elsewhere so that the rest of us can actually think. We are overdue for some rational thought in this nation across the board. North to south, east to west, west to east, south to north, Midwest to the coasts, everywhere. We are overdue. We've got too much that needs to be fixed. Flint, Michigan still has lead in their water. We got roads falling apart. I know, I drive on them. A lot of you guys do too. And gals, and whatever you are. We got water issues we got to get resolved. We got to figure out how to stop the Colorado River Basin from drying up because California's thirsty. We got to figure out how we're going to charge everyone's EVs in 10 years because we haven't spent the money to build new power plants that are controllable, not reliant on the wind and the sun. We got to figure out how to build new roads and tear down the old ones all the way to the dirt so we can build them back up fresh. We got to figure out air traffic control so we can have aircraft come in on new paths that reflect new engines and new technology and not be relying on systems that were developed in the 50s. And oh, by the way, we need to break up the banks, decentralize the internet even more, and do a heck of a lot more to really level things out for everybody. Give everyone a fair shot. Most of that won't happen, but hey, we can all dream, can't we? But the first thing we need to do is think rationally. And oh, good Christ, do we need to think rationally. Mother of God, people, we are a collective embarrassment. Everyone who was so up in arms about all this mess, about concentration camps, you are fools! And you deserve every tear you shed in fear. Every last one of them. And for you come and take it, bros, half of your nonsense was part of the problem in the first place. You didn't take a step back and be rational and tell everyone in power quietly and rationally, hey, you want to come for our rights? We're going to fight you every step of the way, tie you up in court until every ounce of money you get from your black pocket donors is gone. And we're going to win because we have the rights. And you can't take the right away. Everyone forgets the presidency is not the throne of a god. Everyone also forgets to repeal an amendment or pass one. You need 38 states. 38 states. 38 states. 38. Not 1-8, not 0-8, not 2-8, 38 states. So no, the Second Amendment not going anywhere anytime soon because you need 38 states to get that done, and at best, the Blues have 22, if they're lucky. If they're lucky, 22 states. Because everyone forgets, flyover country where all the corn and soybeans and cattle are, they love them some guns. And those legislatures aren't giving up a right. Same with the First Amendment. It's not going anywhere. 38 states, people. 38 states. I can remember a time when elections were decided with civility, without mud flying each way, by gentlemen and ladies, people of decorum and good sense. May not have agreed, but they got on with business as they needed to. And what are we doing? Foaming at the mouths in fear. I love my country. I love my country. I am a red-blooded patriot. I love this country. I will put my life down if called upon to defend my family, my friends, and their children, and whoever. If my life means everyone I love and hold dear gets to live to a ripe old age, I will give it gladly, and I will count it joy. Knowing that everyone I hold dear gets to go on. But mother of God, I am embarrassed for my fellow Americans. We're supposed to be better than this. We're supposed to be able to think clearly and rationally. But no, we bought into groupthink, left and right. And we let it just carry us into this cycle of just outright stupidity, completely submerged in fear. Like, I've been laughing and enraged all day at the volumes of just asinine retardation flying around. Like, there are people with severe mental inhibitions who are way smarter than a lot of people this morning on both sides of the equation, not just one. This is going to be a case study for all of us to learn from. No question about it, politically, but also personally. We have got to do better, people. We've got to be better across the board. So all you blue folks, get your heads out of your backside and stop living in fear of the red hats around you. We don't care about you. Shut up, live your life, be a good neighbor, and we won't care what you believe. But you keep shoving your ideology down our throats, we're gonna beat you at the ballot box. And for all you red hats, let's get one thing clear. We need the blue boys just as much as they need us. There's a lot of good people on the blue side, folks. A lot of good people. We gotta remember that. They're not coming and taking it, they're afraid of us. Absolutely embarrassing. And the media shut them all down. Every last one of them. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, shut them all down. Shut them all down. Not one more dime to any of them. Shut them all down. Bring back grassroots journalism. Bring back proper journalism where the pursuit was the truth, not clicks. If we're really gonna be the greatest nation on earth in perpetuity, we have got to get ourselves back on track as a nation. Not just a conservative nation, not just a liberal nation, a nation. The whole spectrum has to get on the same wavelength of forward progress. Because guess what? We need the whole spectrum to start putting ideas into the pot, stir it up, and make policy out of that. That's how it's supposed to work. Not hard left, not hard right. So I've managed to get through my whole screaming fit here. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching. Before I go hoarse, I'm going to cut it off there. And once again say, thank you for watching. I hope some of you got the electoral results you wanted. If you didn't, you're going to be okay. Like I said in my last video, we survived Biden, we survived Trump 1, we survived Obama, we survived Bush, we survived Clinton, we survived Bush, we survived Reagan, Carter, Ford, Nixon, Johnson, Kennedy, Eisenhower. We survived all of them. We'll survive Trump too. It's gonna be fine. It's going to be fine. And on that bombshell, in the words of Jeremy Clarkson, I will end it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you down the road, unless the Blues get me into a camp. We'll be watching.